Her name was Rosa Martinez. 34 years old. A woman who liked things neat, predictable, and comforting. Every morning, before leaving for work, she did 3 things. Open the windows. Make her bed with perfect hospital corners. And spray her favorite air freshener, twice in the living room, twice in the bedroom, once in the bathroom. The scent? Fresh cotton mist. It reminded her of her grandmother's laundry days in El Paso. Sunlight on white sheets. A breeze that smelled like childhood. In a city that never quite smelled clean, that bottle made Rosa feel in control. Her apartment was small, just 2 rooms and an old stove that clicked twice before it lit. But it was hers. And it was spotless. She'd light a candle, play soft jazz from her phone, and head to her receptionist job 4 blocks down. She wasn't rich. But she had peace. And for Rosa, peace smelled like fresh cotton mist. She sprayed it every morning. Just 2 seconds per room. A little cloud of control. What she didn't know was that the scent she trusted was filling her lungs with something she couldn't see. Something she couldn't stop. The cough started on a Monday. One soft bark of air as she left her apartment. She paused. Took a sip of water. Probably the bakery smoke downstairs, she thought. Or dust. By Friday, it was different. The cough came sooner. Lasted longer. On the subway, she had to clear her throat 5 or 6 times. At work, her voice tightened on the phone. Her coworkers joked. Maybe you're allergic to Mondays. She laughed along. But something didn't feel right. That Sunday, she sprayed the rooms like always. But after folding laundry, she felt out of breath. Not tired. Not anxious. Just, like the air wasn't enough. She opened the window. Waited. It passed. So she sprayed again the next day. And the day after that. And every day after that. If only she had stopped then. If only someone had told her what was really in that little blue bottle. By the 3rd week, Rosa had developed a new morning ritual. Spray the rooms. Cough into the sink. Wait for the tightness in her chest to fade. She blamed everything else. Maybe it was pollen. Maybe her neighbor's cat. Maybe stress. She started carrying lozenges in her bag. Chewed them between calls at the front desk. Sometimes, her voice went hoarse halfway through the day. Once, she coughed so hard while laughing at a patient's joke, she felt dizzy. She sat down and waved it off. I'm fine, she said. I just need more sleep. Then came the night she woke up gasping. 1:37 a.m. A sharp burn in her lungs, like she had breathed in smoke. She sat on the floor beside her bed, hands on her chest. She wasn't wheezing. She wasn't panicking. But she couldn't take a full breath. She opened the window. It was cold outside. She didn't care. She sat there until the air felt easier. Then she went back to sleep. Didn't call anyone. Didn't tell a soul. The next day, she sprayed again. But this time, she held the bottle farther away. Just 1 spray, not 2. She opened the windows earlier. Left them open longer. Still, the cough stayed. The shortness of breath grew. And now, her chest made a strange noise when she exhaled. A faint whistle. She could hear it in the quiet. Especially at night. She searched for answers online. Dust mites. Mold. She even considered buying a humidifier. But not once did she suspect the one thing she used more than anything else. The thing that smelled like safety. Fresh. Cotton. Mist. That bottle had no warning label. Just a picture of blue skies and a sofa. So Rosa kept spraying. And her lungs kept breaking. Before we continue, if this story already has you thinking differently, take a second to like this video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe for more real stories that could protect your health, or even your life. Your support helps us keep telling them. Now, back to Rosa. It happened on a Thursday. The kind of ordinary day you forget by evening, until something unforgettable happens. She had sprayed the living room, just like always. But this time, she bent down to tie her shoes, and couldn't stand back up. Not because of pain, but because her lungs simply didn't want to fill. Her chest pulled tight. Her vision blurred. She stumbled to the wall, hand clutching her ribs. She tried to cough, but there was no air to push. She dropped her keys, collapsed to her knees. And for the first time, Rosa was afraid she wouldn't get back up. Her neighbor found her slumped against the door. Skin pale. Lips slightly blue. Eyes wide, confused. The ambulance came. They gave her oxygen. Her breath returned, but slowly, painfully. In the ER, they ran tests. Chest X-rays. Blood work. They asked if she smoked. No, she said. They asked about asthma. Never had it, she whispered. She was admitted overnight. They used words like reactive airways and chemical sensitivity. They told her to think about what she might have inhaled. And Rosa, still clutching the hospital blanket, whispered one thing. The spray. The doctors looked at each other. What spray? She told them about the bottle. How she used it every day. Every room. Every surface. They didn't nod. They didn't laugh. They just wrote it down. Rosa never touched that spray bottle again. In fact, when she got home, she threw all 3 of them in the trash, without even opening the caps. A week later, her doctor called. He'd been doing research. He found studies, hidden in journals the average person would never read. Air fresheners like the one Rosa used contained something called VOCs, volatile organic compounds. Things like formaldehyde, phthalates, limonene. They're what give sprays their scent. And when released into the air, they don't just vanish. They mix. They cling. They linger. And in some people, like Rosa, they trigger the body to fight back. That clean linen smell? It wasn't clean. It wasn't safe. It was chemistry wrapped in marketing. And Rosa had been breathing it for years. Doctors diagnosed her with a condition called RADS, reactive airways dysfunction syndrome. It's like asthma, but with no childhood warning signs. It comes fast. It stays long. And it changes how your body responds to the world. Rosa had to change everything. No more candles. No more sprays. She even changed detergents and shampoo brands. Her body became a radar, sensitive to smells, cleaners, even some perfumes in crowded elevators. It wasn't easy. But it was necessary. Because once your lungs are injured, there's no rewind. Now, when friends come over, they notice something's missing. The house smells like nothing. Just open air and sunlight through the curtains. And Rosa smiles. Because for her, silence and scentless space aren't empty. They're safe. They're healing. They're finally clean. So if you use sprays in your home, read the label. If there is no ingredient list, ask yourself why. And if a smell gives you peace, make sure it's not costing you your breath. Because Rosa's lungs didn't fail in one day. They failed one spray at a time. If this story made you pause before spraying, or reminded you of someone who might be breathing in more than they know, share this with them. Leave a comment below. Have you ever had a reaction to something you thought was safe? Let us know. And don't forget, like this video, subscribe to Health Chronicles, and join us next time for another true story that just might protect the life you love.